They are our upline. So you're getting to meet all the famous upline now. They're both team elites. And we actually have a line of, the way that John tells me, he says, the line in the company for us is it's team elite upon team elite upon team elite all the way up to the top of the company. So we have a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
Because we have to keep that going.
It's really unheard of to have that kind of power. But you know, basically it starts at the top with Clara McDermott, the only person that the company sponsored. And underneath Clara is Craig Tillotson and Craig Bryson. Powerhouse guys that basically drove this thing with Clara. And then underneath them is Nathan Ricks, which you'll hear tomorrow. Probably
OTG.
OTG, yeah, that was his brainchild. And he is the most genius network marketing person I've ever met as far as his ability to understand the business, to make things happen. Underneath him is Richmond Flowers. Richmond Flowers is there this weekend. He was, he's got a great story. He was an NFL player. He track star, and then they made a movie of the week about him in the United States. His father was the Attorney General in Alabama when George Wallace was standing on the doorsteps of the state building and saying segregation now and segregation forever. Well, Richmond Flowers' father was the Attorney General and went against Wallace and was framed and put in prison. And then finally President Carter pardoned him. So they made a movie a week about, you know, Richmond's whole life story. And so it's Richmond, and then it's Paul and Mort Ehrlich, who just left here. Mort did a PhD, economics, just an incredible background, and Paul is a dynamo. And then after that, it's...
And by the way, just to stop you, Buzz, they're right here on our business cards, and about to be on my dad's trailer. That will be bigger than life size.
Oh, I can't wait to tell
Yeah, they have an extra card?
Yeah.
I'm going to show them.
They were
No, we can show them.
Oh, yeah, I want them.
That's our card, our business card.
Yeah, I just saw it.
They're dynamic people. So, unfortunately, Mort's not happy about this whole situation because you're on his 7th level. But you understand the compensation plan. They'll never make any. Yes, exactly, which I was going to explain in a minute. Then it's Maureen and I, and so we get paid on you guys' group volume, and we don't get paid on anything else after that.
Yeah.
But it really is a great, because then it goes Dr. Bassnair, another team elite, just a dynamo. He's first level to us.
Who?
Dr. Bassnair.
Is he here this weekend?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
You need to be just a great guy. Just a gentleman, a hard-working guy. And are there any doctors in the house here? Well, he's one of the few doctors who get it, who get the business side. You get a lot of doctors who come in here, and he or she, you know, they love practicing medicine, but they're not very good business people and can't really get their arms around network marketing, but Bass does. So then it's, of course, the Palmers, Nathan and Rick Palmer, they were all around here, great people, and then, of course, then it's Mark Mabry, who is one of our absolute dearest, and you all met him?
Yeah.
You know, you gotta be careful, don't ever go on vacation with him. Whatever you do, I mean, we went on vacation for a week with he and his family and our kids years ago, and I just, you know, I wanted it to end the last couple of days because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Cheeks hurt.
When you said that, your face lit up.
You just
First time you meet him, you'll know.
Yeah.
Remember what we're saying.
He's just the absolute.
And he would have been here, but his father passed away.
Yeah, of course, and we've known his father, and that was what, you know, if you knew Al Mabry, his father, you would know where Mark got all of his goodness, because oh my gosh, you know, Al was one of the neatest guys that over the many years when we got in the business. When you approached him, you know what's the word, namaste. Yeah, where he basically, you know, made you know what your gift was when you were, and you left a better person when you left. So it was a real loss. So then, of course, it's Mark, and then it's John McClellan. So that's the lineage. So, and it's team elite on top, team elite all the way up, and some people that are just incredibly good people. So, Maureen and I, we've been with the company since November 1st of 1990. So we're in our 19th November, this year will be 20 years for us. I can't even believe it. I mean, it seems like it's been maybe 5 or 10 years, not 20.
But 1990 doesn't even sound like it should be 20 years ago.
No,
does
it
it?
doesn't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want to make a point about that. Now, I know a lot of you have been in network marketing before, but I want to make a point about this, that there are like so few people that have been in a company for 20 years. And then you look around New Skin and let alone our upline, who we've got that are all, like they're here. Like it's one thing when you've made money and you've been in a company for 20 years, it gets boring, you know. 10 years later, you're kind of like, I'm going to go do something else. And some people have done that, but I can't believe how many people are back in, working excited.
Yes.
And you guys and everybody else that's there, and that's amazing. That shows that this is a different company from every other company out there, and especially the big companies.
Yeah, well, you know what, I'm bringing some of the people back in, and Jolyn Winterly, who was in, most of those ladies were in her group, and we brought her in on April the 9th of this past year, and 2.5 months, she makes over $12,000. I gotta tell you, 5 and 10 years ago, nobody was doing that. That was an impossibility. But but the bonus programs, the wealth maximizer, they just keep on beefing this thing, which is totally contrary to every other single network marketing company on this planet. They change the compensation plan, but every time they're taking something away.
Yes.
We've been there.
Yes.
You know what that feels like?
Yes. So this company does it again, and all of a sudden, you know, you're seeing, oh gosh, I got some more money in here. Where'd they come? Well, they adjusted the compensation plan. But they've really adjusted it, not for us. They've adjusted it for the new people, the bonus programs, the fast start money, the wealth maximizer.
Livable income right now.
And that has just driven so much. And
So just a second, you just said you brought somebody back that had left.
Yeah.
And she made $12,000
in 2.5 months.
in 2.5 months.
Yeah. And she never made $12,000 in a year
Before.
All right. And so this was, she never made
So
$1,000 a month.
This is New Skin 2.0.
Well, exactly, and she came in, and that's was glad you brought back her, because when she came here, because one of the things every time somebody wants to come into the business, I said, you want to make a card payment or you want to make thousands of dollars a month? If you want to make thousands of dollars a month, then I go through, here are the steps that you have to do, just like Lee talked about today. Buy your 5 kits, and then part of the checklist is you got to go to TEU. Well, she came out, she said, okay, she came out here that May, she started April the 9th, May the 15th, or the 3rd week, she came here and at the end she just said, I had no idea. She said, this is not the same company. And you know what, that's a good thing, because in life, in business, if you're not constantly inventing yourself, you're dying. And you know, all these product wonder companies, it's just a matter of time. You know, it's just a matter of time that they all are going to hit the wall.
So as our upline, so we can call you with 3-way calls all the time, you know.
All the time. She's staying in line.
All right.
Because Maureen will tell you that phone's ringing. But no,
That's good.
And it's just like when we started 19 years ago.
Wow.
He was always on the phone. And back then we had, you know, the phones weren't the same. They were, you know, plugged into the wall, and you know, you had a cord
You
that
couldn't
attached.
walk around.
No, so he'd be, well, he had extra long cords, and he'd be
12-foot
pacing.
cord,
But really, his ears started bleeding.
Yeah, because you know, back then there wasn't the headset, so you had to do this, and you had to write, because I was going through my names one after another. So as soon as I called you, and we had to put it, we didn't have internet or web pages, so I would put a VHS, put it in the mail to priority mail. So while I was talking to you, finishing up, I was addressing this envelope, and then I was calling you. Well, you know, after about 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, maybe a month or so, I said, Maureen, I don't know what's going on, but my ear is bleeding. And she said, you dummy. You know, I had formed a callus on my ear, and and when I bumped it one time, it broke open the callus. So I used to say, if your ears aren't bleeding, you're not talking to enough people. It doesn't work anymore.